Jimmy, what are you doing?
I'm packing.
Packing. Are you going on vacation?
No, I'm not going on vacation. I'm leaving the country.
Whoa, Jimmy Kimmel? Where's he headed, huh? Oh, wait, turns out everyone's leaving. But why?
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said he
Oh, yeah, because of this. Donald Trump won the election. Hold up, though. Weren't some celebrities supposed to leave back when he first became president? You know, like 8 years ago? The funny thing is, they're still here. Why? Is this some sort of running joke? Seems like these celebs are all talk and no action. Curious who made the list? Stick around because you're about to find out. First up, let's talk about Samuel L. Jackson. Back in the 2016 elections, Samuel made a bold statement on Jimmy Kimmel Live. He said, and I quote, "If that mother effer becomes president, I will move my black ass to South Africa." Now, fast forward to today, and guess what? Samuel's still chilling in the good old US of A. You'd think after Donald Trump won the 2016 election, we'd be saying our goodbyes to Samuel, right? But nope, he's still here living his best life. People were all set for him to pack up and head to South Africa, but instead, here we are. He never left.
Is it a thing in the press? No, it's not. Tell me it's not. I mean, really? I mean, out of all the things that need to be dealt with presidentially, he's worried about me saying that he cheats at golf? Or, that he doesn't really know me? Is that what the deal is? Wow, that's awful. Let me see. Let me fix that. Let me find something that might help me with that. This. Let me see. Can we get this on camera? Would that be a bill from Trump National? I think it is.
Why do you think he's saying?
I don't know. I don't care. You know, come on. He has to say whatever he has to say. He has to say. You know, and it's one of those interesting things that he called me one day to play golf, not to play with him, but to play with a friend of his. And I went to play with that friend of his, and that friend of his turned out to be Bill Clinton. So it's like that.
He was surprised about why people are still waiting for him to make good on his promise. Probably because he's the one who said he'd leave.
One quick question about a little kerfuffle that you and Donald Trump are in. I just wanted to know, are you surprised that this has become a thing in the press?
Is it a thing in the press? No, it's not. Tell me it's not.
But hey, I guess it's easier to make big statements on TV than follow through, right? Guess we'll have to keep waiting. Maybe South Africa will get lucky next time. And it's not just Samuel L. Jackson. Bryan Cranston was also ready to pack his bags.
What do you think?
It's difficult to try to find truly unbiased reporting, news that really is straight shooters. You know, this conversation I had with Bill, we're talking about critical race theory, and I think it's imperative that it's taught, that we look at our history much the same, I think, that Germany has looked at their history in involvement in the wars, that the 1 and 2, and embrace it.
The Breaking Bad star boldly declared that if Donald Trump became president, he was heading straight for Canada. In October, Cranston said, "Absolutely, I would move. It's not real to me that would happen. I hope to God it won't. It wouldn't be a vacation. I'd be an expatriate." Sounds pretty serious.
When I see the Make America Great Again, my comment is, do you accept that could possibly be construed as a racist remark? And most people, a lot of people go, how could that be racist? Make America great again? I said, so just ask yourself from an African-American experience, when was it ever great in America for the African-American?
He went on to say that the whole MAGA movement was racist and that he'd be out of there if Trump won. Well, Trump won, but Cranston never made his way to Canada.
When was it great? So if you're making it great again, it's not including them.
Maybe he was just waiting for the next election. Who knows? But hold on, because this list is far from over. Next up, we've got Whoopi Goldberg.
So, you know who made a campaign stop on the Joe Rogan podcast Friday night. And with all the issues Americans are going to be voting on, you know where they started the interview?
Before the 2016 election, Whoopi wasn't exactly optimistic about Trump's chances. On The View, she said, "I don't think that's America. I don't want it to be America. Maybe it's time for me to move, you know?" Well. Seems like Whoopi was already planning her exit strategy. But guess what? Trump won, and shockingly, Whoopi didn't hop on a plane anywhere.
But because I respect Barbara, you know, she said be polite to guests no matter what.
Yes.
And for the most part, I got through. I did it like I do now. But here's where they really messed up. Watch.
They're talking about you in such a favorable light.
Honey, Joe, I think you missed this part. Take a look.
I want him to show his birth certificate. There's something on that birth certificate that he doesn't like.
Oh my God.
That's a terrible
that is
thing to
just
say.
the
Whoopi, I'm
worst
telling
thing.
you.
He was 3 pounds.
Whoopi, I love you. I'm
Donald,
telling
I love
you.
you too. I think that's the biggest pile of dog mess I've heard in ages.
After the election, Whoopi went full-on heated. She called Trump a fool and didn't hold back in her rants. She said that she knows he is the president now, and this is a bigger picture than him. This ripples out on so many bigger things. Whatever you believe, no child should be afraid that their parents are going to be taken away because they are Muslim. After all, they are Mexican or because they are black, and to her, this is an issue.
Look, this show has allowed all kinds of people to come on. People we agree with, people we don't agree with. I've not been a fan of this man's. I don't like how he talks to us. I don't like how he talks to the nation. So I have not really had much to say until he started running for president. Then I could say everything I needed to say. My face said everything else.
That was a good side eye.
She even added, "We can kick his ass out. There is such a thing called impeachment." So there she was, ready to leave. But instead, she stayed and turned up the heat on Trump. You know, she could have been packing for some tropical getaway, but nope, she decided to stick around and get real political instead. It's funny how she said she might leave, but clearly, Whoopi's still here, spitting fire on daytime TV. Guess she couldn't resist the spotlight after all. Looks like she wasn't so serious about her goodbye after all. Guess the list is never ending. Next up, the one and only Cher.
Does not deserve anything, deserves nothing. He deserves nothing. He does not deserve any kind of respect, loyalty. I don't think he has two moral fibers to rub together. He wants to be the king, but he doesn't want to do the work.
Now, Cher didn't just threaten to leave the country. Oh no, she had bigger plans. Back in 2016, she was so upset by the thought of Trump winning that she tweeted that if Trump were to be elected, she'd move to Jupiter.
Well, I have a hard time speaking in front of crowds, so it was a little bit scary, but they were great and energized, and there were all kinds of people there, and it was really exciting. And you know what the best thing about it was? You can be depressed or you can get involved. And when you're with a bunch of people who are involved, then you feel optimistic and you feel good.
But of course, she didn't quite make the cosmic leap. Fast forward to the next election, and guess what? Cher's still here.
He's an He's... he's such a dangerous... I don't know how he is a candidate. He is so dangerous, and what he brings to my country, what he's awakened in my country is bigotry and distrust and a certain kind of supremacy in certain groups.
Cher's threatening to move out again after Trump won the 2024 elections? This time, it's not Jupiter, but she's seriously eyeing Southwest London. And this time, she's got a new plan. In an interview with The Guardian, she promised, "This time I will leave the country." Oh, Cher? That's what you said the last time, too. She even claimed that Trump's first term was so stressful it almost gave her an ulcer. So it was bad for her health, and still, here she is in the same old place. We can only wonder if she'll follow through this time or end up staying put again. Next up, let's talk about Raven Simone. Yup, the former That's So Raven star and her wife, Miranda Madej, had a plan to get out of Dodge if a Republican won the election again.
No offense to everyone who's going to be mad at me for saying this. I don't like that idea.
Back in 2016, Raven Simone was super vocal on The View, saying she and her wife would be packing their bags and heading straight to Canada if a Republican made it into the White House. She even had her ticket ready and everything, saying, "I'm moving to Canada with my entire family."
The Oregon law bars businesses from discriminating against sexual orientation, race, disability, age, or religion. And to me, it's the same exact thing that they did back in the day, saying that black people couldn't do certain things because it's my religious belief.
Think you are.
So when Trump won that election, the internet practically exploded. People were Googling how to move to Canada like it was the hottest new trend. And Canadian immigration sites were crashing from the sheer volume of distressed Americans trying to escape. But hey, if it's a sign of stress, this was it. Raven's not alone in her promises, though. We saw a whole wave of celebs saying they were out of here if the political climate didn't shift. But did anyone follow through? Nope. Raven Simone didn't move to Canada. She stayed right here, and well, things went back to normal, mostly. So, where's the follow-up on all these big declarations? It's like everyone got super fired up in the heat of the moment, but when push came to shove, they weren't quite ready to leave. Maybe they just wanted to have a dramatic exit for the cameras, or maybe Canada's just a bit too cold for all that. With all of these celebs mentioned now, we can't leave behind the most iconic name that came out along with these, Miley Cyrus. Miley's been vocal about her political opinions for years and is now openly done with Trump. She used to say things like, "Oh, I think we should be open when approaching politics and have open views."
Okay, so probably like most people that are gonna see, well, maybe not, because given the result, maybe I really am different, and maybe a lot of people that I'm surrounded by think with open minds and open hearts like I do. And I do want to say that I've been very vocal for my support for everyone besides Donald Trump. Heavily supported Bernie, heavily supported Hillary.
But seems like she's done being open the instant she heard about Trump's win this year. After he won, she said, "I'm not effing leaving the country. That's some ignorant shit. That's dumb." Apparently, that's her abandoning her country when she thinks she's got a good thing to say to her country. Patriotic much?
So no more crying coming from me. I am accepting and hopeful, inspired, and smiling.
And trust me, I hear every day on my Instagram, "Just leave already. When are you going to leave?" Well, that's not going to be any good. Does it matter where I am? Apparently, wherever she is, her voice is going to be heard, and she claims that she'll make sure of it. In Vanity Fair in 2019, she said that she knows that he is the president now, and what she said was a bunch of nonsense that she didn't mean. Sure, Miley. And if that was not enough, we've got Amy Schumer, too. She had big plans to leave the U.S. before the 2016 election. In fact, the comedian went so far as to tell the BBC's Newsnight, "My act will change because I will need to learn to speak Spanish. I'll move to Spain or somewhere else. It's beyond my comprehension if Trump wins. It's just too crazy."
But you know what? You choose your life. You choose the way you want to live your life. It's just too important. It's just too important. So we're going to spend 5 minutes. We got 1 more minute talking about it. And you have every right to go to the bathroom, or you can leave, whatever you want. But for 5 minutes, I'm going to talk about stuff. It's up to you.
But surprise, surprise, Trump won. Did Amy pack up her bags for Spain? Nope. A year after Trump took office, the whole celebrity migration thing seemed more like a punchline than a reality. Raven Simone even did a whole TV segment where she tried out life in Canada, wearing a Canadian Mountie outfit and chopping wood with a flannel-wearing dude, all to give us a taste of her potential future life. But guess what? She headed back to the U.S. by the end of it. And others? Well, they just never mentioned their big move again. But wait up, guys. The actual drama is yet to begin. Because here we go again. Looks like the celebrity exodus trend is back with a vengeance for the 2024 elections. Some celebs really got inspired by the previous ones and decided to repeat the history. Let's start with Eva Longoria. The actress announced that she and her family are packing up and leaving Los Angeles. Their plan? Split time between Spain and Mexico.
Talk reaction to the election. What were your thoughts, Eva?
I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken. But, you know, we have the best democracy in the world, and the people have spoken. You can't really ignore the results or be mad at them. It's, you know, it's the fairest election that anybody can have. And so I think it's now about moving forward and mending those bridges.
Oh, and she's feeling really bad for the rest of us, saying, I get to escape and go somewhere. Most Americans aren't so lucky. Guess we'll just be stuck in this dystopian country while she sips margaritas in Mexico.
Like many of you, this election is very personal to me. I'm from a small town in South Texas. And if you know your history, Texas used to be part of Mexico.
Next, we have America Ferrera. Looks like America's not so keen on staying in America after all. After Trump's re-election, the Barbie actress is looking to move to the UK. She's been spotted searching for schools for her kids, and a source says she's eyeing Southwest London. And then we have Laverne Cox. Remember when she promised to leave after Trump's victory in 2016? Well, she's still at it. After hearing the election results, she said, I was just like, I'm out. She even mentioned how scared she is for herself and the trans community, and she's looking into relocating to Europe or the Caribbean.
I asked Laverne Cox, well-known transgender actress and activist, to respond to the Supreme Court news.
Well, first of all, I'm not surprised, given the nature and the makeup of who is on the Supreme Court. When I look sort of historically and try to put things in perspective, this is part of a larger pattern of the attack of transgender people that really probably maybe started 4 years ago or so. I think after the passage of marriage equality, some conservative folks needed another sort of group to scapegoat.
But hey, some other celebs are getting inspired by them. For instance, Sophie Turner. You know, the Game of Thrones star who recently packed her bags and returned to the UK after her split from Joe Jonas. And while sure, personal stuff played a role, Sophie didn't shy away from making it clear that the state of US politics also pushed her to leave. She told Harper's Bazaar the gun violence, Roe v. Wade being overturned, everything just kind of piled on. She went on to say, I knew it was time to get the F out of here. Well, all right then. But wait, there's more. Sophie also shared with British Vogue that she was fed up with the rights being taken away from women in the U.S. She said women in the U.S. are being stripped of their rights left, right, and center. And that was it. She was out.
Donald Trump's mouth looks like an asshole. And that's the truth.
Now, let's be real here. Sophie's making some pretty bold statements about the political climate in the U.S. But doesn't it sound like the real reason she wanted out was a little less about politics and a lot more about her breakup? I mean, talk about timing. She gets a divorce and suddenly the U.S. is a mess? Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. Celebrities like Sophie love to act like they know all about politics and rights, but sometimes it feels like their decisions have more to do with their drama than they let on. And honestly, it sounds a little off to blame it all on the political climate when you just had a major life change. Just saying. Finally, Sharon Stone gets in on the action, saying she's considering buying a house in Italy if Trump wins. She calls it an intelligent construct, which sounds like a fancy way of saying, I need an escape plan. But who knows, maybe Sharon's just looking to live out her Italian villa fantasy.
My spokeswoman for this evening.
I know. Well, you're in good hands with Terry. But if you need anybody to go off and ruin your career with just a lot of words about Trump, I'll do it.
Just go crazy.
Well, I told him Trump and Billy Bush need to both be fired from life. Just from life. Like you're fired, but really you just go somewhere away. Stop torturing us. I'm sorry. I forgot she's a huge Trump surrogate. Big. No, I'm so kidding. I can't go on the record about that enough.
So Sharon, do you agree with what Kathy just said?
I feel that it's not my job to comment, nor does anyone need to comment further.
First of all, controversy is an understatement. I have to say, I do like when they say like aggressive sexual comments instead of just sexual harassment, but I think it could be over finally, and I'm so glad and so relieved because, you know, I was thinking about why there's so much resistance, and people don't like to say it's because she's a woman, except that it is. And, you know, historically, whenever someone does something that's never done before, it's always rough at first.
And there you have it, the same old song and dance. Celebrities promising to leave if Trump wins. Yet, here we are with the 2024 election results in, and we're still waiting to see if anyone's packing their bags. Will any of them leave? Or is this just a repeat of 2016, where it's all talk, no action? What do you think? Let us know in the comments section below, and make sure to check out other videos on the channel. Thanks for watching.